everyone, and welcome to Newborough's Bowl Club down here in Gippsland. We've got a cracker final for you here today. Just popping it out amongst the posts at the moment as we speak. But we're going out live. We have Gary Kelly versus Corey Wedlock in the grand final of the Energy Australia Classic Singles. Just in the middle of posting a couple of items. And we'll get you gone onto a number. Rightio, we're done. And we've got a big portion out. Corey Wedlock went through in the semi-finals 25-3. And then we had a close one at the beginning, which saw Tony Chevelio come out of the block 7-0, but then Gary Kelly just overran and did some fantastic work there. We're just getting some mats removed. And we've also done some presets. So on that middle one, I've preset 1, 2, and 3. Again, any comments, folks, please put them through on the Halftime Heroes page. We might have some guests coming on shortly just to have a chat. So I think Barry Lester was maybe coming down to have a chat, and also Dave Allen. So we hope to get them up and going very shortly. So probably the talk of the semi-finals was Corey Wedlock and taking just over an hour at 25-3. We can see both of them there now just getting up on the screen, just doing their roll-ups. This is their final end of roll-ups, and then they'll get moving. Great day down here in Newsborough. Sun is just trying to peek through the clouds. Temperature is fairly warm. It's up around the 29, 30 degree mark. Just sat down and had a lovely lunch inside. And of course, I saw some sponsors there, which was great. Saw Energy Australia. And again, went through Latrobe City. Also Vern and Ruth Verhagen, Albert and Vera van Stengelberg, Ed and Mary Whelan, and also Helen Grubb for their fantastic work in supporting this event. And you'd have to say you'd nearly classify it as a national event, folks. So that's it for roll-ups. We'll just get some items just happening here.
Full base. Kevin, full base, mate.
Right, we'll get the scoreboard up and running. Course race to 25. So trailing just there. So Gary Kelly's ball now coming down, just coming to screen. We're just adjusting the camera. Just having a problem with one of the end cameras that will keep you up to speed with very shortly. Last ball coming in. So I'm hearing 3. And that's Gary Kelly leading. Takes the lead 3 shots. Comes in, gives it plenty of width. Tracking down nicely, but will cut short. So it'll be interesting to see what the speed has changed. Great first up ball. Gary now swapping hands. just resting out the back. Get the sense this will be a pretty quick game. Already large numbers of people watching. Vinny watching. G'day and thanks for your support this morning, Vinny. Really appreciate that. Nice knockout there. Great crowd forming around the clubhouse here at the moment. Again, just after having lunch. Stepping.
Third shot. Yeah, 5 here for third.
See this coming. He's looking to get behind. It's currently 3-0 in his favour. Look at this. That'll be the end. Big one shot there. He'll take the mat again.
One.
And take it out to 4. Now we're going to persevere with this camera. It's given us grief all morning. And we'll use camera 3 at the moment as well. G'day Claire Smith. G'day Tim.
Two, Daniel. Two.
We're going to persevere and just make sure this camera does bit of speed here from Gary. And misses offline.
That's two down, yes. Still two, yes.
So Corey picks up 2. And that'll get him on the board. 0 and 2. And joining me is Dave Allen. Dave, how you been?
Good, thanks, Peter. Fantastic telecast today.
Very enjoyable. It would be if Camera 4 had come to the party. We're just having a bit of some hiccups, but we'll work on that. But some great bowling.
High quality finalists. I mean, this could be the final of any major event in the world.
Anywhere.
Any day of the week. It's almost like a coaching video, to be honest.
And it went from one extreme to the other extreme in the semi-finals. I mean, we saw a 25-3 win with Corey, and then we saw a pretty even contest between Tony and Gary.
So, well, when Tony was leading 7-0, he would have thought he's a really good chance. But Kelly's an outstanding player. I mean, he's the current European singles champion. He's the world pairs champion. He's a former World Cup winner. So, and boy, he's been on a fitness kick recently. He looks like $1 million. He looks fantastic, yep. And he's playing great bowls.
And Dave, of course, you're the editor of the magazine. That's
Inside Bowls, the free online InsideBowls.com.
That goes around the world?
It goes all around the world, and it's a truly international magazine.
And just released recently. Can you tell us what some articles in the magazine this month?
The feature article, of course, was the World Junior Championships, which were on in Hong Kong a few weeks ago. And there was the UBC, which was at Dandenong in Victoria, just towards the end of the month there. And of course, that's a very, very rich professional tournament. And they had a big preview on the World Indoor Bowls Singles Championship, which was on at a place called Potters in England this month. And that was pretty special too. And of course, there was another good story about the lady who won the World Singles Championship from Tonga. Her name is Milika Nathan, and she's a school teacher, and she's all of 6'5", and she was playing Ann Nunes from the United States, who's all of 5'2".
Wow!
And they had a wonderful game, and Millie came up successful. She's only Tonga's second ever world champion in anything, so you can imagine.
Pandemonium.
Yeah, pandemonium. And that was great. And, of course, Lee Schreiner, of course, who is a former Victorian, now living up in the Hunter Valley.
I like how you say former Victorian.
Well, he was just simply brilliant in the men's singles. He won it for the second time, and we're very proud of him. He's a very good player.
So we're going to just give Camera 4 another bit of a poke. But it's not responding at the moment. So we'll give Camera 3 just a little stare, and then Camera 2, which will show you the result down the end there. So we'll switch between those two at the moment. As the jack heads down to Gary 5-2. is the score. We'll just update that at the moment. And Dave, much else happening around the world of bowls? Some big events up at Ballarat coming up very shortly.
Well, it starts tomorrow afternoon. The Bowls Victoria Region Sides Championships. Everyone who's anybody will be up there.
Yeah, I've seen the teams on social media. A lot of the teams in the packed full of stars.
Yes, there's. Look, it's a great festival of the game, and I recommend anyone who's within an hour's drive of Ballarat over the weekend, go to one of the clubs and see these fantastic players. I mean, they're not the world professional players, but they just play a great brand of bowls.
And then shortly after, we're up to Bendigo after. No, that's for the club, not for the club, for the Vic. No, sorry, down to Gippsland, sorry.
For the Vic Open.
Vic Open, yes.
That's down, well, this would be one of the host clubs, I think, Peter. And,
yep.
And I think the headquarters is Traralgon.
Traralgon, yep.
That beautiful big indoor stadium they've got there.
So again,
and we're hoping, of course, that more comes back online pretty quick after that disastrous fire of 3 or 4 months ago. And you know, what a shame that was.
Yep, that caused enormous damage, and probably will have a bit of a flow-on effect around with people moving and the likes there.
But I'll tell you what testifies to the wonderful spirit of bowls is, while Morwell has been out of action, they've been playing their pennant here at Newborough, and that's just, you know, in other sports it'd just be bad luck, but not in bowls. We all help each other.
Yeah,
and that's what makes us special.
And it seems from viewing out, I'll call it outside looking in, there's probably the bowls community is probably growing a bit in my looks. I mean, you're starting to get, I understand team-wise we're down on pennant teams and the likes there, but socially it's becoming more acceptable. You know, I saw down at Coringal just prior to Christmas, I'll call it hundreds of people playing socially, and that flow-on effect of grabbing, 3 or 4 of those each time is starting just to take effect.
Well, of course, there's so many other things people can do these days, isn't there, Pete?
Yep.
Even going out on a Sunday afternoon and getting coffee and cake and reading the papers and stuff like that. There's so many things that try to entice us to use our spare time. Bowls is fantastic. I mean, once you start playing, you can play for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep. And the people you meet, folks. So thanks, Brian. Great day here for it. Weather is perfect. He's coming in. And Matthew Parker coming in. Yeah, we're trying the cameras. We're giving him a burl. One end's going to cop us, but we'll see how we travel. Right, so a score there, Tommy, is a bit of a comeback there. 2 shots there to Corey.
And Peter, you've been decidedly sitting on the fence about who you think's going to win this. Now it's time.
Well, you'd have to take form, and when you go into a semi-final and go Wooshka at 25-3, you've got some serious form coming in.
You know, these boys played a final on Saturday and Sunday up at Ballina, the same 2 guys, and Wedlock won, and of course Wedlock won this last year against Kelly this day last year. So he's the form man, but who knows?
We're in for probably an hour and a half, maybe maybe a bit more of excellent bowls.
Yeah, well, these fellas just smother the jack, and I'm sure a lot of weekend warriors just it's jaw dropping to watch some of these guys play.
Well, Dave, thanks for coming along.
It's a pleasure. Good
Really
to see you,
pleasure.
Peter.
Yeah, good, great to catch up.
And I mean, the quality of the transmission is brilliant. I know you came here at short notice to help out. You're typical of the Bowls fraternity.
Yes.
And we thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
No, thanks for that. It's just hoping my bosses aren't watching or anything like this. So we'll see how we go. Thanks, Dave. Everyone, that was Dave Allen. So great for him to join us down here and have a chat. Of course, a great contributor to bowls across the whole spectrum.
One down. How many seconds, please?
So Gary just asking for a count on seconds.
So you got 2.
Wendell pushed that into the easterly. Oh, he has too. Jeez. Jeez, I like that. And there's a nice little smile as he rolls down the green here. Crowd definitely building. Corey steps up to the mat. Plenty of width again. Just shaving. Probably around 2 inches wide. They'll both be vying. You can see the score there in the background as well. So So we think 2. Score is 2. Again, folks, thanks for all the supporters coming through, and again, apologies for our camera down at the, we'll call it the northern end. Nice. Well done there from Corey. Oh, it's got to go in too. Jeez. definitely say it's very crowded out the back there at the moment. Corey's going to follow this down. One. Going in for a tape there. Going to have a look at this again. Two to Corey. So that takes it up to 6-7.
Please.
As Dave mentioned before, the last this one to really take off the pressure. The last match these two had was last week up at Ballina, where Corey took the honours there. Wow. And the rider reply, just falling short. He might just get ran out of legs. They just seem like practice swings, don't they? This will go long. Easterly wind picking up here, folks. So I can tell you it's probably jumping out on your screen. The flags are still not fluttering that much as this bowl comes in. I'd say that's your number 3 at the moment, possibly your number 4. Corey comes down to inspect. Oh. Oh. Very close. Again, welcome to all our viewers over the Mount Eliza page, the Kringle page, also the Mornington Prudential Bowls page, the Rye Bowls page, also YouTube, getting enormous amount of take on YouTube, which is fantastic. One. So I believe it's just the one, which it takes it out to 8. And the flies not making Gary happy. So a score of 8-6 here at the moment. Corey's bowl just coming into screen now.
Hurry.
Corey's bowl now comes into play.
One down. One.
So Gary coming down for a look. He's one down at the moment. He's leading 8-6. And again, first to 25. Again, it's been great to be down here at the Newsborough Bowls Club. Of course, we had a fantastic lunch. Special thanks to Energy Australia, the Latrobe City Council, again, Vern and Ruth Verhagen, Albert and Vera Van Stellenberg, Ed and Mary Whelan, also Helen Grubb as well, which is fantastic.
The ball.
With me in the chair is Barry Lester. Barry, how you been?
Good, Peter. Thanks for having me on, mate. It's, geez, the conditions are perfect, aren't they?
You can't get much better. It's a nice little slight zephyr going across the green. The flags aren't fluttering that much.
No, and Newborough, they were definitely due. It's been a rough week, from heat to rain to wind to every condition known to man. And not only are the conditions good, but both players are producing some really good bowls.
And it's a we'll call it a world-class final.
Yeah, and it's good to see. Here we are in West Gippsland, Newborough Bowling Club, about to celebrate 100 years of operation in 2 years' time, and this tournament continues to produce the goods, and it's great to see some of the world's best players continue to turn up each year. And when you look back through the history of the event, some of the biggest names in the sport have made the trip down the highway, and none bigger than Gary Kelly and Corey Wedlock at the moment.
Correct. And Barry, yourself, you've been down here a while as well?
Yeah, funny enough, I haven't actually played in the event that many times. I was just sort of looking at the records this morning. I haven't played in the event that many times, but the amount of times I have been back, I've really enjoyed it. The greens are always good, and the hospitality, you just feel like the members and the organiser, they're like extended family members. So it's always good to come back here. And I think a couple of years ago that the event was sort of just struggling a touch for entries, and I said, well, we can't have that. It's too good of an event. And last couple of years, I've sort of come on board to help the club promote the event and really get it out there through different means. And I reached out to Corey and Gary and said, do you want to make the trip down the highway as well? And they were excited to do that. And it's good to see them not only come down last year, but back it up again this year. We want a waiting list, and that's what they had this year. So it's great to see them have a waiting list for entries. And unfortunately, across Victoria in general, there aren't any big singles events anymore outside of this one.
This is probably it, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm actually surprised for the amount of big clubs out there and the amount of commercial money in the sport now, and that someone hasn't really put a big singles maybe on the other side of the city. But yeah, it's great to see. Great event, so much history and prestige, and Corey's staring down the barrel, potentially going back to back, which is one mean feat.
Well, my understanding is they played last week, and Corey was the better. So I think it was up at Ballina, I think.
Yeah, they did, and this is the repeat from last year's final. Gary not quite getting it done there against Corey. Corey, obviously, like I said, trying to go back to back last year. Big win against Gary. I was chatting to them yesterday, and I think their record sits somewhere around about maybe 1 or 2 games apart. Corey, I think, has just got the upper hand, with Gary Kelly beating Corey Wedlock last year over at Adelaide in the Masters final. So they've got a big record, across Golden Nuggets and various events, club championships, and they're both very, very competitive players. And not that I think they keep a black book, but I know that they've maybe got a little in the back of their mind there what the record looks like. Yes.
Yep, I suspect that. But just getting back to yourself, I know you've been down in some pennant matches and all the likes down on around Gippy.
Yeah, so I play great shot from Gary, trailing the jack for 2, 1 down to 2 up. So I travel down and play for Dandenong Club. They're a great club. I've been in Queensland for 6 years now. Been coming back, play pennant for them this year, and I play for them in the UBC and BPL, and alongside Gary there. And so being able to come back most weekends for the last few months, play a bit of pennant in Melbourne.
But you ventured down the coast recently, or was that down the lakes?
Yeah, down the lakes. I crossed this, last year, I actually notched up 47 flights. Spent a bit of time on the road, but spent a bit of time on the road doing something I love, and trying to just give back to the game as much as I can. Corey just connecting on the front, 2 to Gary there. I've been to Warrnambool, Mount Gambier, Lakes Entrance, like Adelaide, Tassie. Yeah, I've been travelling everywhere, and that comes with the territory. But like I said, I'm doing something I love. I'm doing my coaching clinics. I'm helping clubs with their development. So yeah, travel sort of comes with the territory. But what a great place to be able to travel to. Come back to Newborough. Sort of still struggling to say Newborough because it's always been your lawn, but
It gets you, doesn't it?
it does.
I had to. They called us up earlier and they said, "Oh, down in Newborough." I'm going, "Yeah, no, your lawn." So it always gets, even though the event's been going about 26 years, it always gets me. Bit of a couple of questions coming through. Who beat you?
I went down to Graham. Geez, I've just had a mind blank. Geez.
But, rounds right at the death knock, or
Graham Spencer, sorry.
Yeah,
Got to 25, 20, something like that. I'll be honest, I really didn't handle the windy conditions yesterday, and Graham played some big ones against me when he needed to. So went on to Graham. Unfortunately, he couldn't go on with it. He went down to Tony Schiavello. So there's been some really good performances this week. The beauty about this event too also is you'll play across the 3 surfaces. It's not just one rink or one green, and you'll play in every condition. So on Monday it was pouring down rain, greens are pretty much underwater. Tuesday was rain, wind, sun. Yesterday was sun and wind, a lot of wind, and then today, well, it's a spectacular day. So that's the beauty of these events. You know, when you walk away, you've had to play against some quality opponents, but you've had to really win the conditions too. And I said yesterday, whoever wins this, they've really had to earn it this year. And that's the good old tournament life. Yeah, when you go away and playing some tournaments for 2 or 3 days, and you got to beat your opponent, but you got to beat the conditions too.
Correct. We're just getting some more info just coming up.
Nice shot from Gary. So 3 really good lead bowls there. Corey electing with a bit of aggression with his second, but he's going to have to revert back to the draw here. Green speed just on 15 seconds. He needs to just take a seat there. Sliding past. Might be enough.
And just for the viewers, do you think it's sped up or slowed down since the morning run?
I actually don't think it's changed too much. If the wind got up, I would suspect it would just quicken up a touch. We've noticed
a couple going through to the ditch.
Yeah. Generally when you've had, well, in my experience, generally when you get any downpours of rain, and then you get some wind that follows the next few days, the wind will really dry out a green pretty quickly, especially in the summer months. So if you've got heat and wind, green will dry out pretty quickly. Great shot from Gaz there, switching over to the backhand. I suspect some form of weight here from Corey Wedlock. Yes, so Corey, he wants this jack, either kill or stay in. He's connected on the front. So because there's no wind around, the speed won't change much. And there's still a fair bit of underlying moisture in the green from the, I wouldn't say torrential rain, but Monday was quite solid for a number of hours. And as I said, Newborough has really experienced all the weather conditions this week.
And they decided to play, just getting a score update, is 13-12. So,
and for the viewers today, if you've never played in the event, come on down. There's plenty of accommodation nearby. As I said, the hospitality here is first class. Everyone is just so friendly and approachable, and it's a great little club. Got everything, great meals. Like I said, 3 beautiful grass greens, and pretty easy to get to. It's 100k an hour, 110k's an hour, all the way down the highway. So easy to get to, and yeah, sort of probably that time of year if you're still off work or got a bit of spare time, come on down.
And look, even the Mornington Peninsula folks, only 55 to an hour and 5 minutes away.
Yeah, yep.
So it's great. Come on down. The Mornington Peninsula is pretty crowded at the moment.
Yeah.
So a good place to come down. It's got great facilities. It's got the pokies in there. It's got lounge facilities, the whole lot. So I'd encourage you to pop down.
Yeah, carpool, grab a couple of mates, share the costs, accommodation, etc. But yeah, you can decide. What a lot of people like to do is try and qualify on the Tuesday, knowing that the post sectional's Wednesday, so they don't have to go too far. Or you've got the Monday qualifying as well. So
I think Graham's having a crack at you, Barry.
oh yeah, no, it's a funny little story. So for the first time in my complete bowling career, I've been at bowls now. What is it, 2025? 29 years I've been bowling, and for the first time ever in my life, yesterday, I saw 3 flies sitting on my bowl in my hand. The flies were very, very friendly. Yeah, so they were very friendly yesterday post the rain.
Yep.
And I looked down at my hand. We had the fly spray all over us, but I looked down the bowl and I had 3 flies sitting on my bowl. It was quite funny, and I turned to Graham. I said, "Yeah, nice shot there from Gaz, just connecting enough to kill the end there." I said to Graham, I said, "Mate, I've got 3 flies trying to play this bowl for me here, sitting on my hand." So that was quite funny. So good on you, Graham.
And the jack gets placed back to the tee, was it there? No, it was dead end.
Yeah, dead end. So that'll be replayed. And I think we'll start to see probably a little bit more aggression through the middle stages. Most times you'll see players just trying to feel their weight, feel their line in the early stages of a game. But I think you'll see a little bit more aggression from here on in, knowing that both players have that in their game.
So Gary taking back the mat. Interesting, he went very short in the semi-finals.
Yeah. So that's something you'll see always. You always see that.
Yep.
Just trying to get a read on the opponent, their touch, their feel, their rhythm. Sometimes you can just feel a little bit more comfortable on a certain length. G'day, Aaron Tees. Great to see one of the world's best tuning in. Teesy, hello, mate. Happy New Year. Any butterflies? Unfortunately not, mate. I think the flies have kept them away. But, as you know, I love to see some butterflies around the venue. And well done to you, Pete, for doing this, mate. It's a great setup you've got here, mate. It's outstanding, the graphics and all that.
It would just be handy if we had our little in camera performing as.
It wouldn't be technology without some form of hiccup, mate. I ran a little promo pairs game the other night with my DJI mics and tried to do all I could, and for some reason, the last few minutes it cut out. But well done to you for coming down and bringing 2 of the world's best to everyone's living rooms around the world. I know this time of day, UK, well, they're well and truly asleep, but once they wake up, they'll be treated to this. And
that's the interesting thing. We've been noticing that the Facebook probably been getting a third of the viewers live.
Yep.
2/3 post.
Yeah, that's right. That's the aftermath, as they say. So, as you generate this game around the world. Someone actually asked me the other day, "Oh, is live streaming or all that all about? Is it any good?" And I'm like, well, I can't find a negative about it. So, well done to you, mate, and well done to Newborough Bowling Club. As I said, I've been coming here for a long time now, and the way the club just continues to evolve and produce a great event.
And yourself, what's planned? What's the next 3 months look like for you?
Yeah, super excited. Off to Sydney on the weekend. Great shot from Gaz there. Nice correction. Doing a bit of coaching. So I'm pretty much coaching full-time now, and I belong to Broadbeach Bowls Club. Do a bit of marketing promotions there, but working out on the road, doing some coaching in the sort of the Bondi Waverley area Saturday, and then off to Castle Hill. Well, I say Castle, but some people say it's Castle. Well, I'm
different side of the river.
Correct. So off to Castle Hill on Sunday in Sydney to do a coaching clinic and an exhibition game with Corey. So looking forward to that. Great club. Got some really exciting things happening there. They're doing a big renovation, new clubhouse, putting in a bowling, new surface with a roof, Max covered roof. So that club's going on leaps and bounds, and they're keen to have us come along and do some coaching. Yeah, so plenty of coaching coming up, and then Corey, well, he's shaved the jack, but he's kicked it right out to his wing bowl. That is something you won't see very often. He's just kicked that jack right over to his wing bowl. But yeah, same thing, just out on the road coaching and looking forward to the Premier League, Queensland Premier League kicking off
very shortly.
1st of Feb. And speaking of Teasy, he'll be suiting up with us at Broadbeach. And yeah, can't wait to get into that Queensland Premier League.
So picks up 2 there, which brings him back into 8-12. Is Corey. As we go back to camera 6.
G'day to Rowan Dennis, former champion. Sorry couldn't be here this year. Good on you, Rowan. Happy New Year, mate. Hope all's well with you. No doubt, hopefully see you around the traps. So, 12-8 here, game on. I think this has got the makings of really dragging out to maybe a last end sort of 24, 20, 23, 24 all kind of game here.
Uh-oh.
I just think they deserve it, especially after last year's final. Not quite going all that way, but I think the spectators and the club would love that. Corey just finishing about a yard past. Gaz 20 inches short. Gaz holding one. Both players playing the western side of the rink here. Corey switching to the other side, just going through again. 4.5 feet past. As you can see there, that's hats off to the greenkeepers. All 3 bowls pretty much right down the spine of the rink there. So it's an indicator that line's not an issue. And when you see the players hitting their line consistently, you know that the green's really nice and true.
I've just noticed maybe the left-hand side of the screen may be playing just a touch wider.
Yeah, and it's probably been a bit of a headache for the players this week. It's when you look up at the flags are actually blowing from, when you look at the screen, the flags actually, and the wind's coming from the right of the screen to the left. But the other side of the rink is actually proving to be the wider side. So quite often this week when you're playing your bowl into the wind, it hasn't been actually the wide side. So
has the easterly been in all week? Or
yeah, it has, and it hasn't made the hand wide. So all what we've sort of spoken about and chatted to some of the locals is that maybe the clubhouse is just protecting that breeze, because even some of the locals couldn't understand why what was meant to be the wide side, where the wind's coming from, isn't actually playing that way, as Gary just misses under. So Corey, big opportunity here. You can trail this jack for 3. And this is one of those shots, yeah, okay, he might have 20 inches to draw the shot, and a lot of people might think, okay, dead draw it, of course, but geez, if you give your bowler a chance,
he's come in narrow and
he can trail it as well, but he's drawn it. It's pretty protected there. I think Gaz will just have to settle for a dead draw here. I don't think he'll be able to get back here with some form of weight. G'day to Lucas Protopappas, poor suffering Essendon supporter, tuning in today.
After no sympathy whatsoever for Essendon supporters. Sorry, Lucas.
Good man is Lucas. Absolute legend. How are you, mate? Happy New Year to you. And Teasy up the balls, of course, mate. Up there doing his drills, getting ready for the Premier League season. Teasy, on you, mate. So Gary Kelly here. I think it's going to be a dead draw.
He'll just miss out on width.
Yeah, just missing.
He gets the... Hold it, let's have a look at the mat here.
Perfect weight.
Just the one. So Corey's just snipping back at the lead. Brings it back to 9-12.
So a warm day here in Newborough. 28 degrees.
And we find normally down here the easterly wind normally sticks in for a couple of days. So
And as I said, Peter, the players have been through absolutely everything this week, from rain to sun to wind to you name it. But the one common denominator is the greens. They've held up beautifully. They really have. You can see the bowl just running on there, lovely. And for those that are tuning in and obviously checking out Gary Kelly in his Aero shirt there, Gaz has been on a bit of a health kick.
I didn't reckon.
I'm going
to say that. I'm
Yeah,
going to say I did not recognise him.
Yeah, no, he's going good, Gaz. He's been on a bit of a health kick and lost a bit of weight. And
my understanding is both of them have been doing the laps.
Yeah, Corey's he's lost a fair bit, and I guess it's not a negative, but it's guilty by your environment. Bowls clubs, you're in an environment where there is a bar, there's food and so on, and you can probably get a little bit comfortable in your surroundings. Gaz just getting an edge there, and it's you live well. A lot of bowlers and a lot of bowlers on the road playing tournaments that you pretty much live in the clubs, and there's a bit of guilty by environment, and Gaz has put a stop to it, and so is Corey, just trying to just tidy things up in certain areas, and hats off to him. It takes a lot of self control, and Gaz is here. He's on the run here, looking for some movement. Just missing high. So Corey holding 3. Whoa, Corey holding 3. Yeah, so no, it's and Gaz is feeling good for it. He's happy, and both players getting the reward. Back-to-back finals in big singles events. Both up in Ballina and now down here in Newborough.
Right, folks, again, it's time to thank all our sponsors down here, especially with Energy Australia, major sponsors, and also Latrobe City. Again, Ruth and Vern Verhagen have helped really well. And again, Albin and Vera Van Steffelberg, I hope I pronounced that right. Ed and Mary Whelan, and of course, Helen Grubb. So contributed really well to the tournament. And without major sponsors, we just don't simply have tournaments like this. And of course, the helpers will say behind the screen as we've got some pace coming now.
That helps. Jack stayed around. May have cut it back to 1 or 2. Still a big reduce from Gaz. Corey's having a look at this. Gaz not happy. Bit of a shake of the head there. He knows if you're getting the jack at that speed, when it only moves maybe a few inches to a foot, you're pretty much always going to be a bit stiff. But I think it will be 2. Oh, well, okay.
2, it is. So we're going to be like this, I think, all afternoon. It brings it back to 11-12, neck and neck.
A good crowd and spectators inside as well, just getting out of the heat. But
and during the week, Barry, what was the crowds?
Good crowds, and on Tuesday night when we did the promo pairs, we probably nearly had as many of that's here now, just to stay around. And but it's always good crowds here, and it's a great setup for that. I've been lucky to play in a few finals here over the years, and they do move it around. I've played in finals in all 3 greens, and there's always good crowds up in behind the clubhouse and around the clubhouse supporting the event. And when you think of players like Brett Wilkie, Steve Glasson, Rex Johnston, some of the big name players that have come here over the years, Aaron Wilson, Dylan Fisher, there's been some big names come along, and no doubt the crowds turn up and see some of the best players in action.
So Gary now just needs to wrestle back maybe just a touch of momentum.
Yeah.
Corey looking the goods at the moment. Let's see what happens here. And it's the good bad shot that pushes Corey into position.
Yeah, Corey's just, you can see just with his body language, he's starting to really just get into a nice groove now. And early on, just managing his way into the game. But that one there, not quite sure it counts.
Screen wise, let's look at number 2.
2 it is. So Gaz here, big weight, backhand. Seen this plenty of times. He likes it. Just missing high. And the bowls. So the club's brought in something new this year, a little bit of advertising on the bank, and it's probably proving to be a little bit...
maybe rubberised?
Yeah, it's not working out well. Just bowls bouncing up the green there, as you see that. It's, yeah, probably... I don't know how much testing went into it before before the week, but looks good. But yeah, unfortunately, hopefully it doesn't cause any damage. But Alan Ryan does a great job here, chairman.
So he's holding 2. This looks to be number 3. I reckon. Oh.
Doing a look, probably 3.
They're the calls you like. 2 and a look and probably 3. So Gary's just come down to have a quick look.
I think the count's irrelevant here. It doesn't change Gary's shot. He could be 10 down or whatever here. It wouldn't really matter. So he needs the jack here or try and take a bowl out. He's not happy. Missing high again. Alan was onto that, stopping the ball from coming up the green. But so looks to be a few ends in a row for Corey. And Corey's put the mat straight down the tee, so his game plan's very, very... It is 3, so there you go, big pick up.
Wow. So we could see a bit of a reversal in what's going on here at the moment. That takes it out to 14.
David Rojo, is anyone changing the scoreboard? Yes, of course. Yeah, we've got a scoreboard down the end there. It's just been changed immediately. So it's Wedlock 14, Gary Kelly 12. So we're all over that, David. And David Clark, good to have you tuning in, mate. So give us a share if you can. Just press that share button. That's all you need to do. And we talk about trying to promote the game of bowls. Well, that can be your little bit to promote the game. Just press share. Very simple. And you never know, it could lead to one of your friends taking up the game, seeing it in your feed, tuning in to watch, going, well, this looks like a fun sport. And you've done your bit to promote the game of bowls. Gary Kelly, nice starter there.
We were just mentioning before when Vinny was on air, we had an Everest of Bowls qualifier.
Yes, down at
Coringal. We had roughly 20,000 watch that.
Yep.
And then we had a pennant match, which I thought, being in Victoria on a Saturday, was not the ideal day to have a live stream. But we did a pennant match and we got over 25,000. So bowls is in the live stream community is fairly big, folks. So keep it pumping, and the sponsors love it, and attract more sponsors to the sport. That's can be no harm.
Yeah, very true, Peter. Yeah, it's just about, shifting your focus and shifting your energy from a club perspective. Probably looking at different ways within the club you can promote your club, promote bowls, promote events. And this day and age, if you've got a phone, a tripod, and a battery pack,
Is you're set.
you're set. So that's your sort of stage one level, and then have a crack at that, and then work your way up. You don't have to be a pro straight up.
If anyone wants a hand, a couple of clubs have called me up asking for a hand. I'm more than happy to facilitate. We've got some big things happening at Caulfield Elmer.
Right.
With a new roof going in. And at Coringal, we're taking delivery next week of a Skycam.
Right. Okay. Love it.
Which will go over the top and give viewers an aerial view, probably of head position and at both ends and line. So, and get people out of the way of the camera at ground level. So it'd be a lot easier from the spectator's point of view, and will also help in training. So.
Corey Wedlock on the backhand again here. Just asking if he's got third shot here. He knows he's got to get another one in there. I think Gary will be aggressive again, but this one needs to hold on. Just getting away.
One down, yeah.
That might protect Gary's. So Gary's nearest bowl might be slightly protected now. It is. Only half of it showing. So Gary here. He wants jack or bowl clean. He's got the jack. He needs to go with it. Well, he's played it perfect for two. Big conversion. So Corey there. Corey was just trying to get another one in there, knowing that the bowl was vulnerable. Gary played perfect weight there, Peter. He couldn't play it any quicker because if he plays it any quicker, he plucks his nearest bowl out for 3 down and runs off the head. Played minimum weight so that if he did get anything, he'd stay around. So it's a great insight to what goes on in a player's mind in terms of when they're playing shots. So the previous delivery from Gary Kelly's third delivery was a really firm runner. And then once he knew he was outnumbered in the head, he knew he had to back the weight off because if anything went wrong, the contingency was that he would stay around the head. And he did that. So great shot from Gary Kelly. Just what he needed to now.
And as you predicted, close match. We're tied at 14 all. So we're not going anywhere in a big hurry, folks. Thanks, Chief. And just an hour and 5 minutes in. So suspect we're just over the halfway mark with things are as they are at the moment.
Yeah, both players very quick on the mat. Gary, the slower of the two, but we've definitely, how do I say it politely, we've definitely transitioned in this current generation of bowlers from maybe 20, 30 seconds on the mat or in prep to now maybe 6 or 7 seconds.
It is, and it's like I'm not saying it puts more pressure, but it just keeps the game continuous.
It is, and it's. I've always said you don't throw out a textbook. You just make some adjustments, and some great shot from Gary. Some people would say, "Oh, that's not the textbook delivery. That's not the textbook way," and that's fine. The textbook never gets thrown out. You just edit it every few years, every few decades, and the new generation, the current generation of bowls, and how people go about it is much quicker. And most players have a real dynamic delivery as well. You can see Gary forward weight, back foot leaves the mat immediately. The back foot staying down, the bowler's staying down. Days are nearly completely over, and that's just generational. You move with the times. Other sports do it as well. Great shot from Gary.
Wow.
And that's exciting. That's the exciting part. Corey, what is he now? Already 10 metres down the rink, and the bowl's only halfway. So
they're making this decision on what bowl they're going to play within a split second now, where I'll say in the past was a fair bit longer.
Yeah, a lot of pre-mat decision making.
Sorry, fourth. You have.
So Gary just asking there who's got fourth shot, knowing that if the two bowls next to the jack were removed, he's just trying to figure out what the count would look like. So big question from Gaz there, just trying to find out who's got fourth. So he's either got to decide here, does he get another one close or does he cover which is probably his biggest danger. Jack back for 3 down. So he's going to cover the biggest danger, and that's get something around the back.
So he's got some assist just in case.
And Corey runs the risk now. If he plays weight and flicks his own out, he'll be 3 down. So he's already 2. I'd still suspect some form of weight. Only one worse if it goes bad.
So David Clark coming back with the Skydome Skycam. I'll be looking for hopefully a sponsor that can sponsor the club for that. So we'll come up with some. Pick it out. Jeez.
Amazing shot.
Wow. I reckon he's a chance of 2 here.
Gary's quick to put his finger up for 1.
Wow.
As we see there, that just Jack trickling back. Great conversion from Corey. 2 down to 1 up. So 3-shot turnaround. And that's probably the biggest and most important part of a singles game for me. You can pack the Jack all day around, but all day long. But if you're converting and obviously changing that count, something like that, 2 down to 1 up is a 3-shot turnaround when you're all square in a big game like this is huge. So Corey there, big conversion, but both players here right on top of their game. Crowd absolutely loving this. You can see them. They're not going anywhere. Glued to their seats.
I think maybe the heat might be giving us some grief, so we're just trying to cope. Whenever someone puts a live stream setup together, make sure you get some refrigeration, folks.
Yeah, that little bit of breeze has got to be helping you at times. I noticed there's hardly a breath there, but nice starter from Corey. Great reply from Gary. So both players. Matt on the tee. So ditch to ditch here. Both bowls with inside 2 feet. Both playing the western side. Getting some nice turn back to the Jack. Just pulling up there from Corey. So right on line. Gaz just swiping the flies away. I went through a nice shot from Gary. I went through a bottle of Aerogard yesterday. They've definitely been on the.
They've been nice. Not putting a moz on us. They've been pretty nice to us at the moment.
Yeah, I probably should have had a shower before bed last night because I woke up smelling like Aerogard still this morning. It was crazy yesterday. Gaz there. He's swiping his flies away with his hat there. So 4 bowls inside what would be probably 2 feet, 2.5 feet there. Corey electing to play a bit of weight. Gaz, what's he got here in reply? Can he put another one in there? Yes, he can. Nice shot, Gary Kelly. Well, he's changed that head for the better. It's a great shot.
He's holding 3 at the moment.
Corey, 1 to come. So that's what we call an offensive play there. Gary Kelly, even though he's holding a front touch and it was a good shot, but he wanted to change that head up. And he's just sprung that Jack out the back. Now holding 3, which might force Corey to play more of an arriving weighted shot here versus a flat-out drive. Try and look for the Jack down through that tunnel. Yes, he is. So just arriving. Corey is looking for some action through the front. This weight his bowl should stay around. And it has. So he's pretty much played the weight we spoke about, but just hasn't got the result he was after.
Again, apologies, folks. We're just jumping around cameras while we've got feeds happening, so just keep you at this end.
just on that, Pete, that bowl there from Corey. Some players, many players, players out there, you might look at a juicy head like that and just go flat out and rip a few out. But Corey there, as you can see,
looks to be holding one.
Yeah, maybe one down, if not. But what he's done is he's played weight, so he just hangs around the head. And that's now ended up being a bowl that's potentially got him shot, or if not, saved him from a number. And it's important to play that correct weight at the right time. As Gaz comes down, needs a clear run. Oh, not sure. Corey having a good look. Taking 2 out. And it is 3.
That's, in the scheme of things at the moment, that's pretty handy.
Yeah, and you know what? Gary Kelly pretty much played 4 perfect bowls there, and he's been rewarded with a 3 as we move to 17-15. Helen, you can see Helen sitting on the chair there, Pete, next to the scoreboard. Now, Helen's been here as long as I've ever been here, and Helen's gone from inside, collecting results, filling out cards, you name it, here at the crack of dawn, here last to leave, and Helen there sitting outside in the heat.
She is there, right in the middle of screen.
You know, just giving back to her club that she loves and doing her bit for the tournament, and that's what it's all about. So hats off to you, Helen, sitting out there doing the scoreboard. Amazing lady, and clubs like this, for events like this, they just don't happen without the Helens of the world.
And it's great. All clubs have them, don't they, Barry? That they have people like that come and help. And if we don't have people like that, our clubs just don't survive, folks.
Spot on, Pete. And I know we say that a lot, and you probably can't say it enough, but it becomes something within the individual to say, I'm going to actually get down to the club every day throughout an event. It's a passion of mine, it's a love of mine, and to volunteer, to completely give up your full day, all days, off the back of your love and passion for the club or an event is just huge. And good. Helen in the background there. She's Newborough 101.
She gave us some. She gave us not a touch of grief. She gave us some. I'll call it a discussion about Pete. You're moving my scoreboard. I said I need to get the camera shot. She goes, no, it's my scoreboard. So I said, no, we'll just have a chat with the guys and all sorted. But she's very passionate.
Yes, no doubt.
Barry's just heading into the clubhouse. He's just going to get some water, just to make sure our helpers are all going good. Just taps it on. So Corey holding 1.
Yes. What's the shot will pass the Jay?
So we're either 8 shots away or 10 shots away from a winner here
front.
in the Energy Australia Classic Singles Finals down at Newborough. Great to have the support and all the comments coming through, folks. So really appreciate it. Some big viewing coming through as well.
Good.
Wind will push that over. So the wind coming from right to left. Just enough on the green, just to give it a gentle push. So he's had his 4 bowls. He's not happy chappy. Corey's 1 up. And just about to pop down and put his foot on the mat now. He's starting to to get to warm up as he comes in. Guess what, folks? I reckon he's got that one as well. So that'll take him to 2, so it'll be 17 all. As the marker pulls out, 2 red ones. And that'll be 17 all. Great first up bowl. Just resting beside the jack there from Corey. Gary just getting a fresh drink. Just stepping back onto the green now. Right, Gary back on the mat.
So just a little bit of OH&S. Just went and made sure Helen had a drink bottle there, sitting next to that scoreboard for a few hours in the heat. So she's happy. She's got her drink bottle now. She's all ready.
Under a bit of shade there as well.
Yeah, a little bit of shade. Corey, he's got one right on it. He's backed it up with another close one. Is it time now? Will Gary just rip into this now? It's probably the easier shot. I don't think there's probably a big enough gap to go through without touching something. And the key to this shot is going to your favourite hand. Gaz forehand, loves his forehand drive. And, very unlucky to hit a ball at that speed and have it stay around the head. Stiff there.
He played 2 shots in the semi that cleared 2 opposition bowls and left his own, which was unbelievable. So he hasn't replicated that here.
Yeah, generally when you're hitting a bowl or a jack at that speed, you'd expect that it's going to move more than, well, that bowl there has only probably moved a couple of inches, but it's jammed on the other bowl of Corey's. And Corey, well, that's 3 really good shots, and that's what he wanted. He wanted to narrow this target up. Gary, no mucking around. Muscle memory. 2 bowls the same. Well, he's under.
Does look a happy chappy walking down, waving at those flies.
Oh, I suspect he's still pretty unhappy with his first result. To hit a bowl, like I said, at 30-odd kilometres an hour, and for it to move a couple of inches, whether it jams on another bowl or not, it's not something you see very often. And when you do see it, it's never received that well. So Corey here, same thing, looking to count, but not make this target any wider. At the moment, it's only a bowl and a half wide. Doesn't want to flop off that. Oh, he's done well, but he has made it wider. Corey's not happy. He's kicked his hat. He's kicked his hat. It's actually a really nice style. He kicked that with really good style. I didn't know he
forward flanker.
Yeah, he's more of a rugby boy, Corey, than AFL, but it's actually really nice.
He doesn't look happy. He's sitting in the chair there at the moment.
Well, he's turned this head in from a 1.5 bowl target into a 3 bowl target. Gary Kelly. Big weight, looking to reduce or get this jack.
Stand.
He's He's killed it, I think.
And he's yelled at it to stay in for 2. Not only has the jack come out, but his bowls come out as well. So it's all happening. Gaz is taking a walk here. He's going to go take a deep breath because he knows if bowl and jack stays in there, he's held 2, and it's a big moment in the game. So Gary Kelly there, if he gets the 2, he goes 19-17 up. Jack in the ditch, but both jack and bowl ricocheted out. And it's a replay. Corey Wedlock there, Pete, you can see still shaking his head, and you can't blame. He's come down with his last delivery, just trying to, draw another. And what we say, we don't want to frame the head or box the head, make it wider. He's played a good bowl, but spat the jack out and made it really juicy for Gary. And we say it's a game of millimetres, a game of inches, and poor old Corey, he's made it worse for himself, and then Gaz just didn't get the result he was after.
And probably with Gary, he's missed the last 3 drives, so he's, as you said, the muscle memory's kicked in.
Yeah, and then to get that one he was after and not get the result, he's obviously a little bit upset with that. And that's this level. So at this level, you just can't give your opposition any look. The moment you give them a bit of a look at a target or something, you've got to expect they're going to take it.
Flies distracting Corey now.
So Gaz just
nice first up.
Yeah, nice from Corey again with the first bowl. Back-to-back first deliveries. Inside 10 inches. Gaz, drink stop last end. Toilet stop this end. 17 all. Prize money. Ranking points. Prestige. All that online here. Gaz up, needs the jack. Well, that's pretty much a perfect start from when you're 1 down. And it's a bit of an attacking style head. Can't ask for a better start there from Corey or Gary. Gary's got a nice bowl to play to now. Corey will be looking to just split those 2, though. Somewhere between his first and Gary's last.
It's coming up to just a touch.
That's finished in a good spot. It's made Gary switch. I think it'll be big weight. Solid weight. Needs connection. Well, he's got some. And a touch-up. As you can see, Pete, both players know that they literally can't give their opposition a look because they'll take it.
The speed of the game is unbelievable. I just used to local
I was just about to say, but that's right, mate. Yeah, and Corey's up there. He'd be one of the quicker players. But when you start talking, Aaron Wilson, Kevin Anderson, Ryan Bester, it's fast forward, mate. It's definitely fast forward, and that's what they do. They do it all the time too. That's the key. Gary needs the jack here.
Drop down underneath.
That's a nice setup. I think he's still only the 1 down, maybe 2, but
17 all.
Corey here, he knows if Gary trails that jack, he'll be 3 down, or at least 3.
Sorry, up on the rink. Yep, 2 down at the moment.
Corey, just something strategic here. Counting, but also covering those back 3 bowls of Gary Kelly's. He might potentially also go right to the back, knowing if Gary does get all of the jack. You can hear the wind there. Corey doesn't want to open this up. Well, he's played it perfect. Counting and covering. CC.
4. I think I heard a 4 on the
Just hear some wind getting up here, that easterly. Gary needs to hang around. Well, he's run away.
He's in trouble here.
He might be 2 down here, Gazza. good speed for the shot he was after, just the bolt's height. We'll see the paddles here. Maybe 2 paddles. All right, so Corey's first bowl and second bowl was right on the money, forcing Gary to just play a bit of weight with his second delivery. So that's just that front end pressure in singles. We all know you want to try and do the damage with your first 2 deliveries.
Tommy, we've been told don't touch camera 4. Don't even touch it. It's working.
Corey Wedlock, nice view from behind there, just to see the pre-mat prep. So much preparation goes in to the shot, well and truly before the mat, both physically and mentally. You see the players already visualising the shot, what width and what distance required before they get to the mat. So when they get to the mat, it's just an execution process from there. You want to probably have as least amount going through your mind when you get to the mat as possible. Nice reply from Gaz there. If you've got to the mat and you're still thinking about line and length and wind and forehand and backhand and all that stuff, when you're on the mat, for me, it's well and truly too late. Try and keep a clear, really clear mind when you step onto that mat. Nice reply from Corey. So as you can see there, all 3 bowls just in behind the jack. Quite a short length, only about 27 metres here. Mat up 4 metres. One of the shorter lengths in the last sort of 45 minutes anyway.
Objection, please.
Holding 2. Which would tie it up again.
Yeah, 3 shots here. If Gary's holding 3 on this, and Corey gets onto the mat with his last, it's a big moment in this game all of a sudden. So Gaz is just labouring a touch. He's going to hang on. Don't think so. But I still think it's just going to have to be a dead draw for Corey here. If you want to win these big titles, you've got to play the big bowls when they mat up. Corey Wedlock, 18 inches of room here.
Just a little skip on the mat. Yeah, I don't think he likes it.
No, I don't think he got that one away as well as he'd like.
It looked like he slipped just a touch off the mat. So he falls short, which leaves the door ajar.
So just an observation here, Peter, and obviously I know both players pretty well, but right now these 2 players are playing like they're not friends off the green, as in they don't know anything about each other. They're just playing the game on its merits, and that's a different sort of beast in its own. To be able to walk onto a green, play one of your best mates, and somehow turn it into a game where you just control what you can control and not even look to your opposition like they're one of your best mates, and that's not easy.
So they're just looking at the solution, what's on the green,
Yeah,
nothing else.
Process,
yep.
Just all process, delivery, the conditions, the game on its merits, and they know that tonight, they know tonight, tomorrow, the next day, they can talk about the game and get back to hanging out as best mates. But right now, it's game on. It's a battle, you know. It's and that's not an easy thing. Some people will struggle with that. I remember one time I played a big club championship match against my dad, and I didn't enjoy that at all. I really struggled with it. I'm like, how can I play against my dad in a club championship, you know? And
is that because you're thinking about your dad?
Well, yeah, that's right, you know. And but yeah, when it comes to best mates, which these 2 are, club mates, teammates, you know, not easy.
Well, we're getting a second opinion. No.
3 it is.
3.
That's massive. All drawn. All drawn 2.
So that'll take it to 20, which takes us into the home straight.
Gaz cracks 20 for the first time out of both players. I don't know where this game will go. I had a feeling it'll go right down to the wire. Just getting a feel for the game early on, but let's hope that it does.
Well, you called it early on. That'll be a prediction of 24-24. It's heading that way at the moment.
Still, even though there's a little breeze around, look, the flag's still not moving much. It's been a great day of bowls. Well done to all competitors who entered, put their name down. A lot of locals compete as well. And when you're only an hour and 45 minutes, hour and 50 minutes from the airport, get a group of mates together, club mates, come down. Come down, enjoy the week here in Newborough. Great greens, great hospitality, ranking points, good prize money. Can't go wrong. You'll have a good time.
Just falling short.
Just a little side story, Peter, just to break the mould, mate. When it used to be your Lawn Bowling Club, our Australian team, myself, Wayne Turley, Lindsay Clark, and Karen Murphy, we actually played Bert Newton's Family Feud on TV against your Lawn Bowling Club many years ago, around about 2006, 2007. And we played against Helen. She was on the team for your lawn. We raised $10,000 for Blind Bowls Australia. And it was fun. It was good.
Jeez. And it was the Bert Newton.
Bert Newton was the host, yeah. Bert Newton's Family Feud back then. So something a little bit of a side topic there, but that was quite funny. The fact that I'd been here before, played in the Lawn singles back then, and here we were on Bert Newton's Family Feud playing up against the Lawn team, and Gloria and Helen were there, and Maxie. I can't quite remember the rest of the team, but it was something quite funny.
So line was good, just length.
Corey, yeah, his line's really good here. Just needs to find a yard. Looks good.
Very wide.
Not quite getting there.
Geez, that comes off and he's not there, shaking the
My
head.
last ball, mate, how far past is it?
So Gaz, 4 bowls on the forehand as he releases this one. So that's always good for your muscle memory and your consistency. Just needs to drop 2 feet from that last delivery. If not, maybe just get some connection. Just take a seat on something. No. Well, it's hard from here, Pete. That camera angle's really, really good, but it's just hard to judge how far away Corey's bowl is, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, we hear from the market that he's got 3.
You'd expect Corey to correct here.
Looks a bit of speed on this as well.
Oh, he needs connection, I think.
And he's going to find some traffic.
Oh, may have cut it back. I don't think he's got the shot. It's going to be close. He played it well. He gave it a chance. Nice little result, just working off his wing one, but he was looking for a bit of bend.
I'm tipping that Gary, right until that bowl impacted Corey's front bowl, was looking pretty happy there, but
It's a big measure, this. We see 20 all. No, 1 to Gary. So he's in the checkout zone, Gary Kelly, and he needs 4 more.
we're going to see the viewers have popped up number-wise, so as well as on YouTube. So thanks again for supporting the channel, folks, and viewing. Again, thanks for Newborough Bowling Club for inviting us down. That's terrific. So 21-19. Tommy's done some adjusting on the cameras. We might be in some luck. The video guides have blessed camera 4 and said, give it a shot. And that's a great first up bowl there. Jeez, that mounts the pressure straight on. Covers the jack from view. Again, the easterly's dropped out and the wind has dropped out completely. Corey just coming in behind.
Where am I short of?
I reckon there's a space of 5 seconds. How short am I? Jump on the mat and then takes the shot. Fantastic.
Yeah, it's spot on, Pete. Good observation. It's one of those ones.
Look at that. And a mirror shot.
Yeah, when you're in a certain mindset, unfortunately, and I'd hate to be a golfer. Unfortunately, golfers have probably sometimes up to 10 minutes between shots, and controlling the thought process, but from shot to shot. Corey Wedlock,
Wow.
Jack, wow, what a shot.
Wow.
Controlling that thought process from one shot to the next, especially if you've played a bad shot in golf, keeping yourself in that cool, calm, collected blue zone couldn't be easy. But in bowls, yes, from bowl to bowl, ideally, you can keep that rhythm going and just try and stay in a positive frame of mind. Gaz looking for this jack.
Look at this.
What a shot. Gary
Please.
Kelly.
With the words, please be good.
From a side toucher down to a front toucher up. It's heating up here.
I think it's starting to get the 6-shooters out at the moment.
Yeah, we've got some nice cloud cover here, so the conditions are really kind. Wow, Corey Wedlock just missing. So as we see here, Peter, Gary's done his risk assessment. So he was at the back of the head when that bowl came to rest. So that's a risk assessment. He's just looked at all the things that can go wrong at the back there. And as he storms up the way up the green, there's not much to think about now. The shot's already sort of in his mind. He's not leaving it to chance or to hope. It's embedded in his mind now what shot to play. And
so he's looking to come in behind?
Yeah, it's definitely just trying to get – I feel the key is to try and get the deepest bowl and then make Corey play a really difficult weighted shot. If Gary only sort of got to the tee here, Corey could pretty much play it anyway, but I think Gaz needs to get something fairly deep here.
He's gone super wide.
Yeah, okay. So I don't know if he meant to be that wide, but that's about the weight he was after. A nice question there from Aaron J. Thanks, Aaron. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, really good question. I'll get to that in a minute, mate. But as we see Corey here, needs to crack an egg on this jack.
There's some weight on it.
Doesn't want to turn the front up. Well, he's turned it through at least. That would have been stiff. So Gaz hops to 22. Front side hopper down to front hopper up. Great shot there. Yeah, so Aaron, Gary Kelly, Corey Wedlock, mate, they live out of suitcases. Same thing. Probably 40, 50 flights a year, event to event, between work and home life. And yeah, it's definitely hard, mate. But
is there an off season?
There is. Yeah, both Gary and Corey. I was with them. I think it was today when someone asked, is there a bit of downtime? And no doubt, Corey went over to Thailand for a couple of weeks last year, got away from the game. Gaz is the same. I think Gaz said leading into an event last week. He hadn't bowled for 2 or 3 weeks, just staying fresh, getting away from the game. Nice shot there. It all comes down to one thing, Aaron, and that is time management. It's your calendar, it's your flights, it's your hotels, it's all your movements, knowing where you are 4 and 6 months ahead. And if you spoke to Gary and Corey, they'd be able to show you their complete itineraries for the next 12 months, and that's something that's a skill set that you've got to have in what they're doing, because that's what comes with the territory, living out of a suitcase, and and then you've got to fit in, like you say, your downtime at home, your work, your training, and juggling it all out. So good question. Thanks, Aaron. Thanks for joining us, mate.
And then I suppose on top of that, well, these young, I'll call them young lads, would also have sponsor commitments and the likes there.
Yeah, spot on,
Media.
Peter. Yeah, so as you see, Corey wearing the Warilla top. So Warilla do a lot of good things for their athletes in terms of employment and support. Gary wearing the Aero gear. Aero Bowls, not only an amazing company that manufacture great equipment, but the amount of support they put into their athletes is huge, and they don't have to, but Aero Bowls go above and beyond to really support their athletes, and that goes a long way.
Oh, he's off the line there. He's pushed.
So currently down game, Corey Wedlock.
Match point. Yep.
So all of a sudden, Gary Kelly now, strategies come into play big time here. He's thinking, well, if he rips the 2 out, I'll only hold 1, but I obviously want to try and get the game over and done with now. If he rips 1 out, I'll only hold 2. So you start looking at all the strategies here. Is it better to put something in the way, thinking that Corey will go again? Or does Corey potentially just draw a 3rd shot and stay in the game? So all those strategies, but like I said before, Pete.
Corey's only got one on the rink at the moment.
Yes.
Yeah. Jeez.
Gary's got the comfort of knowing he can't lose the game this end. So does he go right to the back? I think Gary's got to protect the head. I think a counter in front of the jack would be ideal here. Just cover any danger.
He's still umming and ahhing, isn't he? Just making the decision.
So it is backhand. Looks to be heading out to that back bowl of Corey Wedlock's. So it's 4 shots. Gary Kelly holding game. Corey Wedlock, for me, I don't think the target's big enough to go again. I think he just tries to draw it, maybe trail it a foot. If he fails, he's still in the game.
So a shot here to save the tournament.
When he only has to put a bowl inside 4 feet, 5 feet, and he's still in the game.
Guess what, folks?
What a shot. Well, he's fallen out. Big effort. He's still at least 1 down. Big shot from Corey. Gaz grabs the mat. He might have cut it back to 1 here. Great shot, Corey Wedlock. Yeah, brilliant bowl. So Corey there, just trying to trail the jack a foot or 2 or sit the bowl. He played it perfect.
So we're at 23-19.
So Matt 2 metres up. Jack about 5 metres up.
Just wind maybe just holding it out just a touch.
Nice kind length. About 27, 28 metres. Corey just grabbing the outside of that bowl. And you asked the question earlier, Peter, about the conditions. For me, I just don't think they've changed. The wind hasn't been strong enough to dry this green out. And I think that moisture from the heat's always on the rise. So green speed still around that sort of 14 and a half, 15-second mark. Gaz just looking in rhythm here. 2 bowls around that jack high mark. Corey needs the jack here. He's just going under. So once again, Corey.
I'd say he's one shot down at the moment.
Yeah, once again, Corey just going to be forced into trying to keep this game alive with his third and fourth bowl. But as this head sits right now, it's a head that you have to draw your way out of trouble. Gary's worst result is turning this into a head where Corey can play weight into it. And that's what Gary's very conscious of. So he's got now one either side of the line, which is very handy.
And match point.
But I think you'll see some form of weight here from Corey. He knows he gets 1 or 2 out, he's in the game. Pretty standard shot from Corey. Jack or bowl.
Jack.
Well, he's now holding 1. Well, there you have it. So a tiny edge of the jack there from Corey Wedlock. Tiniest of edges. He's holding 1 all of a sudden. Not quite scripted, that one, but in the area.
Gary's just thinking I had it. Now I've got to do it all over again.
Oh, for me, I think Gaz, trail the jack for 1 or land the bowl for 1. Just under. So still a lot of room for Corey here. So this is going to prove to be a massive conversion for Corey with his third bowl. The fact that he feathered that jack over to his nearest bowl could end up holding 2 here, Corey Wedlock. Yeah, mark it on the card. So Corey, huge shot with his third delivery from 3 down to 2 up. And we're game on again. Corey now in the checkout zone.
So we're edging towards an exciting conclusion, folks.
So ditch to ditch. Corey Wedlock has written a new script here. He said, well, Gaz, if you're going to beat me and win the title, take it off me, you're going to have to beat me ditch to ditch. So Corey Wedlock putting a new challenge in front of Gary Kelly. Gary Kelly's been on a bit of a rhythm here the last 3 or 4 ends over a 3/4 length. And Corey's said, well, you're going to have to do it ditch if you want this title, mate. So Gary Kelly, close, probably enough a shot there. And that's the strategic mind of these great players. Corey knew he got the mat back. He's like, well, I'm not going to just keep putting the jack or playing a length that Gary's had a really good rhythm the last few ends. So he's gone long, and it's worked so far. So Gaz needs to drop probably 2 feet here for shot, or if he trails it, he'll be pretty good. He needs jack or bowl. Well, he's played it. Great shot, Gary Kelly. Had to give it a chance. He's only probably a foot to 18 inches over there, which is really good weight for this environment. Ditch to ditch. You want to make sure you're there. Corey, pretty good body language. Close to the jack here. He's got it.
Wow.
So Gary Kelly Jack in the ditch to win the game here is what he'll be after. Well, it's at least whole game. So forehand, bowl or jack. He's stalking it.
Guess what?
Well, he's holding game. Gary Kelly, what a shot. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, the weight control. Gary could have ripped at that. He could have played any weight he liked, but he played the weight so the jack would stay around and the bowls would stay around. Beautiful conversion weight from Gary Kelly there. And Peter, that's the class of these players.
So, to come down to a grand final and still be pulling shots there, that is very well executed.
Yeah, they're always, players at this level, they're always on top of their weight control and their shot selection. Corey Wedlock looking to save the championship here. It should be enough. Maybe close for second. No, has it not come in bounds? Well, that's all over.
Yeah. That's match. So Gary Kelly, the new Energy Australia Classic Singles Champion for 2025.
Yeah, no, what a great final. Yeah, Peter, well covered too. Great, mate. This equipment is state of the art. Well done to you and your team for coming down, and thanks for having me on board.
I really appreciate you coming on, Barry, and also Dave Allen earlier this afternoon, and Vinny as well for the semi-finals. Without you guys' support, I really can't do it. So it's really great for you guys to be involved.
Pleasure, and please, for those that have tuned in and still on board now, please just press share. It's very simple. We've got people like Peter out there doing their bit for the sport of bowls, and we talk about increasing membership and promoting the game. It's a simple press of that share button and promoting the game. So Pete, great job, mate, and well done to Gary Kelly, the 2025 Energy Australia. Well, the sponsors, Energy Australia, the club, Yallourn Newborough, but Corey Wedlock, back-to-back finals, Gary Kelly, back-to-back finals. But well done, Gary Kelly, for the win, and best wishes to you, Peter, moving forward. And thanks for having me.
No worries. Thanks. That was Barry Lester joining us here down at Newborough. Thanks again. It's great to have Tommy. Special thanks to my son Tom for coming down and giving us a hand. He's got some time off work. It's been really great. So, folks, a really great coverage. Everyone's really happy, and all things are happening. We're just getting some data up on the screen at the moment, and we'll start clearing some information for you. Beautiful there. So, folks, we're going to wrap it up. It's been great to have you on board. Sorry about the camera work. Camera 4, unlucky camera 4 has been given us grief, but again, it all prevailed in the end. Again, thanks to the sponsors, in particular Energy Australia, Latrobe City, Vernon Roof, Albert and Vera, Ed and Mary, and of course Helen. Without them, we could not do it. And of course, to our streaming sponsors in Aftercare, Skirmish, and Pure Plant Protein, we really appreciate your support of the stream. Folks, that's it. We'll catch you later.